haven't done this before, if you haven't hopped in any of my lives before, I'm Charm, and I'm a mindset manifestation and a business coach. I help struggling entrepreneurs basically learn how to market their business organically here in social media. Okay, so today's topic is why niche down. And so I wanted to come on here and really explain to you guys why we niche down and a couple of the very common mistakes I see when people are niching down. So first of all, you guys, when you have an online business of any kind, whether it is a store, boutique, products you sell, a service you offer, you need to have a niche. And essentially your niche is who you serve, your ideal client, your soul client, the perfect person that would come and buy your product or service. Okay, so why do we niche down? Because if you try to speak to everyone, no one will hear. You know, it's very common that many of us say this, that if you try to speak to everyone, no one's paying attention because one message doesn't speak to all. Now, huge mistake that I see is people niche down way too much. You get super specific. You only want to work with people who are a certain age, a certain race, a certain business. When you get too niche down, you cut out a lot of opportunity to help and serve other people. Okay, now the other huge mistake that I see is not niching down enough, saying, well, I help entrepreneurs. There are millions of different types of entrepreneurs, billions of entrepreneurs out in the world, right? You aren't being specific enough, and so no one will feel as if your message is speaking to them. Okay, so like I said, you guys, niching down is super important because you basically have messaging that converts. You will be able to attract your perfect client. You will write messages, write like posts, you'll do live videos that speak to the people who need you, speak to the people that you want to work with, that want to work with you, and that's what you want. Okay, so why niche down? Well, it makes it easier to attract the people that you want. It eliminates those who you don't want to work with. It gives you cohesive messaging and stories. So it allows you to kind of figure out what you're going to post and talk about, what your content's going to be about, right? It also allows you to figure out who you serve. If you're a service-based entrepreneur like myself, you create courses, you create trainings, you have one-on-one coaching. How are you going to know what trainings to create if you don't know who you serve? Okay, so huge, right? You want to niche down so you know who you're talking to, you know what problems you're solving, you know who you're solving them for, so you know what to create. You know what to post, you know who to talk to, you know how to say it, right? Because newbies aren't going to know lingo that the vets know in the entrepreneur world. So that would change how I write my posts, right? My posts would be very straight to the point. I wouldn't use any kind of jargon that entrepreneurs who have been in the business for a decade or two would know. So I want you guys to sit here and think about it. Who do you serve? Now, I am going to give you guys a quick tip. Usually your ideal client is you in the past. That's the easiest way to kind of figure out who your ideal client is. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that everybody inside of your niche is going to have dealt with, and been through what you have, right? So, for example, I have clients that are virtual assistants. I have relationship coaches. I deal with network marketers and companies I've never been in myself. So just because your ideal client is pretty much based off of who you used to be doesn't mean that you won't serve people who have been through and done things that you have not. Okay, so you guys, like I said, it's super important niching down because it figures out who you serve and how you serve them. It will allow you to figure out the kind of content you're going to create, the kind of products or services you're going to offer, the problems that you solve. If you start making up problems that you want to solve without knowing who you're solving them for, you might be creating solutions for problems that don't even exist for your ideal client. So this is why you guys want to niche down first. You never want to start creating until you niche down. You don't want to start posting until you niche down. Even if you have a product that everybody has, even if you're in network marketing, you want to know your niche. Who are you targeting? Because you and your neighbor could both be selling the same product, target different people, have completely different messaging, and have different sales tactics based off of who you're trying to serve. But I promise you guys, if you guys target a specific audience, you will make a lot more impact with your messaging, your posts, and your sales will reflect that. So I just make sure you guys, you don't niche down too far, because like I said, if you decide, hey, I am only going to work with this type of person, and if they're this, I don't know, gender, this race, this age, this specific company or specific career, then you may niche down so far that it's going to be very hard to find clients. So there's this happy medium of being open to serve more than just who you were and what you've gone through, as well as being specific enough that you don't try to speak to everybody. And this is something that I pretty much explain and I teach and I help my clients go through. But like I said, my tip to you, who were you? What problems did you have? What category do you fall underneath as far as it comes to being a person or a business owner? Because not all of us are in here looking for help with the business. And what problems did you figure out? Did you solve? Did you overcome? Because those are problems and solutions that you have, right? That you've gone through, you figured it out, these work, and you want to do this with both product-based and service-based. And the funny thing about it, you guys, is each time you have a different product or service, you can have a different niche. You can have a different ideal client. And I think that's where people get very, very confused. They think, why can I have one niche, one person I market to, one category of person, and then you struggle because the truth of it is maybe, for example, me, created a course that was for beginner entrepreneurs, right? But then I was telling the ladies in my BBA class, I have a mindset course that's coming out that you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be in. Two totally different niches. Also, the Canva course that I created, it doesn't necessarily just target service-based and product-based entrepreneurs. People who own storefronts could grab it, and they could be able to create graphics for their website, right? For their store, their Instagram, for their store, but they don't necessarily need me because I'm not a brick and mortar coach. So your niches will be different based off of what you offer. So be open to that, figuring out what niche belongs to what business that you're running and what product or service that you're offering. If you guys want more help with that, at the end of June, I'm going to open up the wait list for BBA. And that is that's my signature program for anybody who wants to start an online business, anybody who's struggling with getting their online business up and off the ground. And in there, you'll learn things for both service-based and product-based businesses. All right. Bye, guys.